Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Kerry, and this is my channel, Testimonies and Conversations. And so this morning, that's Wednesday, and um, wanna, so I was up late Monday night with the election in New York, and I didn't hear the speech. You know, I don't have cable, so I don't see anything live. Um, but I got up Tuesday morning. I mean, his speech doesn't matter because the election was won. And I guess the problem with everything was he was just very divisive, very hateful in winning. Um, you know, and it was really as if he knew he had won. Of course he knew, but he even though he was saying to all the communities out there that voted for me, thank you, we love you. But I noticed the we, and the we was more about the Muslim community than it was about the American community. If you did not feel that um, from his speech, I mean, if you listen to several of the political pundits and stuff, and nobody actually, even his own John Jones, there, the radical guy who wants to kill his opponent's kids, right? Um, he was just kind of shocked at how it came off. And I just want to um, just a couple things that just come on, people. Did you didn't see this coming? I mean, and I want to say this: if your if your hatred for Donald Trump is so bad, then your life is worthless. Your life is absolutely there is no value to your life at all. And people, he's being drugged down on so many things that you know most of the things that happen in a president's first 2 years in office are not as much as an effect on him as to what the policy coming through, because it all takes time. It's why they call it a democracy, right? That things are slow and deliberate. And I understand the tariff backlash, but you've quietly sat still while your parents and grandparents sold off our jobs. You sat still with your thumb up your butt, and now when he tries to come back and say, "Hey, we've been getting raked over the coals all these years. Let's make it a little more even." Now you're mad because you're getting cheap stuff, and you're too stupid to see the future. When guess what? You're you're going to be paying through the nose for everything, and you're going to be lucky to get anything if you can afford it. Because guess what? We don't have no jobs and we don't have no resources. Any of you have a half a brain, you need to go look up some rare earth minerals and understand that, yeah, your guy Obama and your guy Biden just said bye. You know, Trump secured some things, but China went after it and got it from under us, right? And guess what? They're going to use it against us. You bet it's coming. But just it's just so hard to understand. Can you not sit back and just picture how this is going to be down the road with this guy who, you know, his home in Uganda's got armed guards because it's a bad country. And, he's never ran anything big. Now he's your mayor. And he's going to start um, um, politically sexualizing you. Let's just say, I don't know what the word for RAPE is, but yeah, he's going to shove it up your rear end so bad you're not gonna you're not gonna know which century you're in. That's just how bad it's coming. And so um, when you start seeing more mosque pop up, and you go, well, I didn't know that was there. Oh yeah, yep, it's new. Coming to a corner near you, and he's going to start speaking more Arabic, right? And he's going to tell you to figure it out. If you're not going to see that coming, it's coming. Trust me. He's going to, oh, yeah, as so and so. And I mean, did you, people, this guy is not an American. He's not an American. And you've put him in charge of your lives. I mean, and he's not leaving. He's not leaving unless he steps up, and he's going to have another Muslim in line right behind him. Let me tell you. First thing I want to just hit you with here is he said tonight. He said we toppled a political dynasty. Okay, as a mayor of New York, yeah, I understand that's the biggest city in America, and the one of prominence is always the mayor of New York. But toppled, I mean, it's really he's trying to say that he's toppled the entire system. Not it's a swipe at Donald Trump. It's a swipe at anybody and everybody who's ever been in the political system of New York. And let me tell you something. I know there was a lot of Democrats in there, and they did a decent job. But he's telling you that everybody who's ever been in political office in New York is bad, and they've all ruined everything. Not the people. The people ain't, oh no, no, the people never did anything wrong. Just the political leaders, and all they did was steal everything. And that's not exactly true. There's, you know, I just wonder how the mafia is going to work with him. But I want you to think about that. He says we toppled a political dynasty. Whew. Wow. I can tell you where this is headed. I can tell you real fast. It's headed for the local toilet. Um, so if you noticed, Mamdani did not say, I'm an American. He said, I am a Muslim. I am a democratic socialist. And I refuse to apologize for any of this. Not one time did he say, I love America. He's never said, I love America. And you put this guy in power above you. God has given you your wish, and he's going to let you fall into it and die on this sword. You're going to get what you actually deserve in this. And I'm sorry to say this. As a city of New York, you did this. So yeah, where's this guy say he's proud of America? Nope, nope, he's not. He ain't proud. Nope. He's got one agenda, people. He's got one agenda, and that's to spread Islam any way possible. Any way possible, my friend. Notice in here, his speech is just littered with Islamic references, right? Muslim, Muslim, Muslim. We're for he doesn't know who are your great New York leaders from the past. I remember Ed Koch growing up, and everybody just loved him. Hey, how am I doing? He looked funny, his voice was funny, and everybody loved him, and he did okay, right? But this guy, he doesn't care about none of it. He cares about nothing. He cares nothing about your past. And so here, but understand this is the damning part of this. And if you can't, I'm sorry, if you know if your hatred for Trump is not, I can't I can't say you must love Trump to go to heaven. That's not true. But Trump Trump has done something in this last week that, I kid you not, my pastor was talking about this before it hit the news. Okay, and what he said is that there's, um, like half of the Christians that have been killed this year are in Nigeria, right? And so what they reached out to the Trump organization and said, hey, if you recognize this as a nation of concern, then the Christians can start getting protection because they're just killing them off. And these guys, these UPC leaders, they got together and they were praying. They weren't together. They were online, and they had a prayer meeting. And about an hour later, they got a call that said it is now recognized, and you can look this up. And this is just in the last few days. I think it was Saturday or Sunday, and but this guy here, look at what he says. Look at what he says. And he says, we got more than 1 million Muslims. We want to let them know that they belong not just in the city but in the halls of power. And I'm telling you, his first thing that he's going to do before he blows up your police force, before he does anything, he's going to start appointing his. So when he takes over, all of your heads are going to be Muslim. All right, all the heads of this are going to be Muslim. So you better get used to that. That's coming here January 1st, right? So you got just over a month. So I don't know how far you can drive in that month, but you need to think about it. You know, this statement here, he doesn't. At no time does he say America. This is the heartbeat of America, and we'll show America. There is no America in this guy. I'm telling you, this guy hates America, right? And again, Donald Trump. He's doing everything he can to make the point at Donald Trump. He hates Donald Trump and he wants him gone, and he wants to be in power. I mean, and this is very scary from this guy. I'm telling you. Now he's in his speech. He's including everybody, and he was in a gay club the other night. But how long until he you start getting beat up, right? Until you start realizing this guy does not care about you. And this was the first thing I saw in here, and it was standing before you. I think of the words of Jawala, whatever Nehru. Um, he doesn't know any great Americans to quote. Think about that. Your guy leading the greatest city in America, New York, where your dreams can come true. He knows nothing about. He will. I think he knows, but I think he refuses to say anything positive about America, and anything that says I love America. You I'm telling you, you God has spoken. And since unfortunately, the majority of you voted for this guy, and you when one of the hardest things is when you get these other Muslims that have risked their lives to come out and tell you, please don't do this. Please be careful. You're setting something. You're setting up a failure. You just said, "Nah, we don't care. You're stupid. Nah, we don't need no warnings. We know this is a good guy." Now, I'm not saying Donald Trump's a great guy. I'm not a big fan, but he does protect us, but it's not seen. You know, the hate, your eyes are, you've got this film over your eyes, so you're not really seeing a clear picture. And the steps that are coming, I read here, Houston reached out. There was a Jewish fire chief who resigned. He said, I'm done. And Houston, the city of Houston, reached out and said, hey, dude, we got a job for you, right? We go, oh yeah, that's no big deal. We can replace him in a minute. Can you? And what about when a fire people ain't understanding is that when a person in a very important position like your fire chief, your police chief, when they can stand up and say something, right? That's what let's face it. We all have times we stand up and we speak out against things, right? But this guy put his job where his mouth was. He said, you know what? I'm not living in this. This is not going to be good, and I'm done right now. Um, and he's leaving. He's done. So how many people are going to be want? They're going to want to be put in that spot. and how many people underneath him that respect this man and have worked with him for 20, 30 years. And they've said, you know what? This guy knows something that I don't. And they follow, they follow step, right? And they start how many I wish I could have a chart of how many policemen in the city of New York, policemen, firemen, just start going. Okay, I'm done. I don't have a job yet. I don't know, but I'm done. So the city of New York, um, you're damned. I'm telling you, as a city, this is damned. And if you stay in this city, you will have no hope. I'm and I feel sorry because I know there's some good churches in there, and there's a lot of good Christians that are sitting there, and they're going to struggle. Can we sell? Can we do anything? But I'm telling you right now, you have you've taken and you've planted, like it's like bamboo, right? Bamboo, everybody likes bamboo, but it's an invasive plant. And you don't see it, but buddy, it spreads them roots out, and man, it starts shooting up everywhere, and you just the only thing you can do is start harvesting, and you have to do all this work to control it. And um, that's what you've done. You've planted like bamboo, right? Except for it's poo poo, right? Sorry, folks, but that's what you've done.